A word about Bahira. Having met my acquaintance as a Mongol scout of Turkmenistan, bullions of gold, spices, and leather hides of armor for prize-fight merchant, Masood. Bahira's dog was slain, that dog's name Muhammad, and so begins the journey of Conley, the sacred shiest against the boxer, a knife against the fist should he bear it against me. Tortured to death in deserts, attempting to mimic my genome and form, immune to eating disorder, fast, and kowtow. The forms I deliberately taught him to divide his chosen people, the Yuwa, the R seen on the prescription bottle, now called a Jew. His secret emblem, the crooked penis, so bent out of shape it cannot be believed unless in leather pouch. Ted Bundy, mine. George McBundy, his roommate and acting coach, turning a cop into an actor-lawyer. Perhaps once friends, O'Neill, my mother, with Lennox, the chief apostle of Ireland. Thrown out of power at Henry VIII upon temptation by my kin of Pete and Boleyn, betrayed by Thomas More, the lawyer, judge, idolater, a Jew, as was declared by the Lennox, replaced by a king after a Jehovan. Jehovah's Witnesses, the Alba Playlite, and 200 years prior, 1300s to 1500s. The test between the mercantile gentry of the middle class and the groundling, the proud blue-collar labor. The peasant's trinity. How about more? Douglas MacArthur, one of mine. A Korean Lennox, one of his. The entire loss of the Philippines and Wake Island for declaring the list Texas Honey, Robitus's antecessor, as homosexual upon his demand. Taken later, of course. How about Gingerfish and Zim Zum? A Lennox. Martialis, William Wallace's gene among high princedoms of betting parlor, versus myself, Crown Prince Charles. Elon Musk against Matthew Lennox, John Scott's namehood. A man who seeks to control the world via psychiatry, not practiced with medication. A denial of Razi's and Avasana and the Taliban reform of the war on terror. Perhaps more. How about the worst and most grievous sin against us? Charles Manson, a Lennox, versus Stephen Charleboy, my own uncle and F4 operative placed there to avenge Ron Wood and MI6 future member of the Rolling Stones, his semen stolen by Israel, the Ohio Resource Authority, my uncle Bandito Altamont, and the clamshell Brillo seat, authorized by Dr. Evil's chair. The death of the East Side rapist, the West Side killer, and Ernest Earl Jones. 12 heterosexual transphobic women, the future founders of the Manson family. The Lennox, Charles Manson. A cop so embarrassing, he programmed the entire prison system to follow him. So cops would be prisoners, not prisoners be cops, his later stage. The election of an entire president via the comic book Spider-Man. Richard Milhouse Nixon. to grind down on weeds so everybody would know that Charles Manson, the chief apostle of Ireland, Patrick, had done it. Unial's former prestige, a faggot.